pluralistic democracy, but urged them not to look away and to stand up and defend religious freedom. Julie McCarthy, NPR News.
New economic data out today. The number of people seeking unemployment benefits fell last week to 751,000. That was the lowest level since March. However, unemployment claims are still at historically high levels. The economy grew at a 33.1% annual rate in the July-September quarter. By far, it was the largest quarterly gain on record. The Dow is down 16 points at 26,503. I'm Lakshmi Singh, NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the estate of Joan Beacom, whose bequest serves as an enduring investment in the future of public radio and seeks to help NPR produce programming that meets the highest standards of public service in journalism and cultural expression.
You're listening to 90.3 WPLN News. Cloudy skies today with the temperature peaking earlier this morning. Now it's falling into the low 60s for the remainder of the day, with a pretty good chance of rain in the late afternoon. Tonight showers are likely, otherwise cloudy and windy with a low in the low 40s. And tomorrow mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming sunny with a high in the mid 50s. There's a possibility of overnight frost.
This is Fresh Air. I'm Dave Davies in today for Terry Gross. Our guest, Nicholas Christakis, says the virus that causes COVID-19 will circulate among us in some form forever. Christakis is both a medical doctor and a sociologist, and in a unique position to understand the science behind the coronavirus and place the current pandemic in the context of past attacks of deadly pathogens. Plagues, he writes, reshape our familiar social order, require us to disperse and live apart, wreck economies, embolden liars, and replace trust with fear and suspicion. He says they also elicit kindness, cooperation, sacrifice, and ingenuity. In a new book, Christakis surveys the course of COVID-19, chronicles some tragic mistakes made by our political leaders, assesses how the pandemic may end, and considers some of its long-term impacts. Among his observations, if a vaccine arrives after 2 or 3 waves of the pandemic, it may be too late to make much of a difference. Nicholas Christakis directs the Human Nature Lab at Yale University, where he is the Sterling Professor of Social and Natural Science. His latest book is Apollo's Arrow, the profound and enduring impact of coronavirus on the way we live. He joins us from his home in Norwich, Vermont. Nicholas Christakis, welcome to Fresh Air.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much for having me.
You're a medical doctor and a sociologist, and you direct the Human Nature Lab. What is that? What do you do?
Well, I am a doctor. I don't see patients anymore. For many years, I haven't seen patients for about 10 years, but I was a practicing physician in hospice medicine. I took care of people who were dying. But my primary identity is as a research scientist and as a professor. I teach students. And the Human Nature Lab is my group at Yale. And the part of human nature we are interested in is that part that relates to how we interact with each other. So we address questions such as the origins and functions of friendship in our society. Why do human beings form social networks?